Hi there. In this video we are going to be taking a look at this enclosure from ineo. It's dual 3.5 inch hard drive enclosure. First of all, thank you ineo for sending this unit in. This, together with another one which will be linked in the description of the video, will be helping with the video data storage for this YouTube channel. So here are the specs. As you can see them, I'm not going to bother reading them because it's quite simple. Single disk mode, I think, for me will be the most important thing, because I want to see two independent drives. I don't need more speed or things like that. I just need storage and the drives to be independent from my point of view. In theory, it takes hard drives up to 8 gigs, and maybe someday in the future I will attempt to use bigger than that, but I don't have bigger than that, and I don't need bigger than that, at least at the moment, for sure. So it's an aluminum enclosure. That's nice because it will help with cooling. Type-C plug. Okay, that's interesting. Anyway, so let's get inside of this box. I think we have also more info in here. So door lock, yes, that's good. So you need either if you want to steal the data, you take this whole thing with you, or which will be obvious because it's missing, or you cannot simply just open it up, take the hard drive, close it back up, and nobody realizes until they try to access the data. So this is locked, and also my daughters will not be able to play around in it because they tend to try to open everything up. So this is not openable by them, which is good to straighten up little finger. Maybe too straight. Anyway, people tend to comment on anything on this YouTube video, so presumably somebody will say my finger is defective, and maybe it is, so who knows. These are the variants. This panning, no, single for non-write independent volumes, and my drives are BitLocker encrypted, so in theory this will be just a pass-through from the computer and it will access them, and I can input my BitLocker password and everything should work. Type-C connection, perfect. We'll set it to single, obviously, and mode confirm button. Okay, I guess. Fan switch for noiseless operation. So we have off, high, and low. I might let it on high, depending on how noisy it is. Who knows? Maybe in the future we might even upgrade it with an Octua or something to make it as quiet as possible while still being on high, but maybe it's not even noisy by itself, so we will see. This is the power input, so it takes one 5 volt at 2 amps and a 12 volt at 2 amps. So yeah, connection speed, but we will do some speed tests. As you can see, the length of the cable. And I was telling you that I'm not going to read them, and I'm not reading all of them, but I'm just browsing. So at this point, this is included in the box, and my daughter playing with her, is that potty? I think it's some sort of potty, who knows. So let's open this up and see what we get inside. And my daughter giving me some screws from a laptop. Okay, I can tell you something that I already like. They used this type of foam and not the one that you can break easily by hand and just make a mess all over and it gets really staticky and sticks to everything. This type of foam I want to see in all products. That's awesome. Let's get this out. I'm expecting this to be, honestly, the charger. Am I right? Yes, I'm right. So this is a dedicated charger with 2 voltages and dedicated connector. It somehow looks like old mouse and keyboard connectors, not the oldest, which were bigger, the somewhat newer but still before USB. Not sure if it's identical, but it looks like them. And this is an 8-figure wire. This is not what we are using in EU, but this is common to every stereo cassette player, every modern TV. They have the same connector, and I have plenty of these wires, but for the moment I will be using it with that adapter right there, which will be plugged in really easily in here, and this will be going in an SSD for a bit of speed testing to see what the interface can do. But we will be using mechanical hard drives for the channel in it, so we will never reach that speed. I just want to do a test for you, so that's about it. Anything else in here? Yes, Type-C cable. This laptop has Type-C, so that's exactly what we need. And the 2 little keys for the drive, and presumably some documentation in here. Let's see, warranty card. I will just show it to you in case you've lost yours and need the info. And I sometimes refer to these old videos of mine when I lose manuals and whatnot. Let's open this up and get back to it in a second. And this is the manual. Again, the mode that we'll be using. So in theory we will be seeing this power LED on. Rebuild will not be needed, rebuild will not be needed, this one not be needed. We will be just seeing read write for hard drive 1 and 2, and hopefully never errors. So let's get this out of the box, open it up like we are shown here with the key, then open the door and try to put the SSD in the tray. I'm not sure if this is meant to have SSDs 2.5-inch drives, or if that will be just a weird test of mine. But yeah, if you need to read the whole manual, feel free to pause at any point in time. And yeah, that's about it. Okay, so this is out of the bag. It has rubber feet. It will also help with vibration and not scratching your furniture. Yes, this is all aluminium, and quite a thick aluminium, honestly. This is again metal. Presumably front door is plastic. Yes, it's plastic front door. It has text on it, Galaxy, right on the top. I saw some reviews online. Some people were bothered by this text. I'm honestly not. So yeah, let's put this in here. Yeah, from the factory it comes, at least mine, in single mode, so that's directly what I need. That's quite simple. On off switch, I forgot to tell you about it. So yep, it's not open. I need to take one of these and open it. Okay, let's open this up. I'm honestly not even sure how I do it, and I might need 2 hands because you need to push on it. I think I managed with 1 hand. You can honestly even let it unlocked, because it will just stay like this. It has a magnet, so it's magnetic. It does, as you can see, it's pulling itself in. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see how we get these things out. They have a ledge right here, so you rotate it and pull it. Oh, and there's only on one side of this a rail. So my SSD, sorry about that, it's not going to be happy staying in there, so I don't know if I can test it. Okay, so for a 3.5-inch you simply yeah, normally it's in the, it stays on its feet. I'm just holding it here so you have some light and see in there. You pull this, push the hard drive to the end of it, and then continue to push the hard drive, and at the end, this is rubber right here. You close this on top of the hard drive and push it the last bit in, and then this will actually lock in place like that. But for the moment I still want to test with an SSD, so I think I'm going to try and get my hands in there and plug the SSD in. Yes, it will just stay in that socket, so it will be hanging in there. I'm not going to be moving this thing too much while it's in there, just to get some speed readings. Hahaha, the SSD is in there and hanging in mid-air. So let's power this thing on and see if everything is okay. Okay, ready to power this thing on, cables plugged in. Again, it's set to single from factory, the fan is off. Powered it on. And it says we have a hard drive in there. And we have disk activity, and the hard drive was recognized. Let's see all the partitions in it, because I have, yep, it's seeing all the partitions one by one. I have more than one partition on this particular hard drive. Come on, laptop. Ah, jeez, I do hate Windows 10 a tiny, yeah, also the rest partition appeared. I hate Windows 11, sorry, a tiny bit. What? Ah, I think that for the other part, where I don't have any hard drive plugged in, we had a little bit of an error. Let's see if we still have our hard drives visible. Our hard drive, sorry, SSD actually visible. Yes, it's visible right here. So that error was for the part of this that doesn't have anything plugged into it. And my daughter right next to me helping me. So let's give it a speed test with Crystal Dismark and see what we actually get at this point. I'm quite curious. And yes, with mechanical hard drives in this thing, we will not be reaching the speeds that an SSD can reach for a fact, but I want to see the limit of the enclosure itself. And by mistake I run the speed test on my C drive, so I will be stopping it and I will put right next the result, the final result on my C drive, because I've done this test already. This is the speed of the NVMe SSD in the laptop. So if we see lower transfer numbers than this, obviously this is not the limiting factor. I just did a test to show you that not the internal disk is the limiting factor. But we need to run it on F drive, which is the SSD in the unit. So now it's actually working, as we can see in there. And meanwhile, let me try and start the fan. So let's see, where is it? How noisy the fan is. Hey, this is not noisy. This is not a noisy fan at all. Let's see on low. Hey, on low you don't hear it at all, honestly. No, the hard drives will make more noise than the fan. On high, maybe the fan will make more noise than the hard drives. No, in my book, the fan remains always on high setting and I don't need to upgrade it for a fact. Yes, if you are really into silence, it might annoy you. But for me, I don't think this is a deal breaker. Better keep the hard drives cooler. And the speed test, what I'm seeing now, it's actually faster than the dock that I got from ineo, and it's on par with a 2.5 inch external hard drive enclosure. So this is faster than the mechanical hard drives can be, in my opinion. That's good. So let's wait for this to finish. This is the final speed test. These speeds are really good in my opinion, at least for what I need, way more than what my hard drives can actually obtain. So we can safely close this, and now let's do a copy test. So from my C drive, from the SSD in this, which is really fast, let's copy, sorry about that, doing this with my left hand, let's copy to the SSD in there. So this is the speed that we are getting, which is quite good, honestly. Yep, this is, yay, it's doing exactly what it needs to do. And then when this finishes, we will be doing a test in reverse. to see what the read speed from the SSD in this thing is when we are copying a file to our C drive. So click on this thing and with my left hand try to drag it somehow in there. And yes, continue. A bigger speed, which is again really good for what I need. I don't expect more than this, and my hard drives will not be able to handle more than this for a fact. So yeah, the limiting factor for the unit will be the hard drives inside of it, not the unit itself or the connection. That's for sure. So that's about it for this. When you unplug drives, I recommend you actually go to this and eject it, and then turn off the unit from the back of it. Is it? It's still saying that it's doing some work. So be back in a second when I can actually eject it. So one of the programs in Windows was still accessing this, so I just shut down the laptop fully to be sure that it's disconnected and unpower it. And now I can get my SSD. Oh, and this actually has even a spring in there. This is all plastic. So this is plastic, this is plastic. Or, yeah, no, it's plastic. It feels like metal at first, but it's plastic. So we have metal here, really thick, and we have metal on the back, really thick. Or actually the one on the back is not that thick, but this is extremely thick, as you can see. I don't know, 2 millimeters, even more than 2 millimeters. Camera, focus please. Anyway, and if you are wondering why am I doing this on the floor, I just moved into a new location. I don't have anything set up, so sorry about that, bear with me. Open this up and somehow unplug that SSD from in there, because this is not the normal use scenario. I just did this for testing. Nice touch with the ineo on the USB Type-C cable. Type-C at both ends, wanted to point out. Let's get ready to finally install the hard drives. So we have an 8 terabyte Seagate Iron Wolf, and this is a 6 terabyte Western Digital. Let's get them in there. Some people were reporting that they were actually using much bigger drives in this unit. Somebody was saying he was using hey, am I doing something wrong in here? He was using two 16 gigabyte drives, so that's quite a lot. Okay. Get in there. Is this happy? Is this in place? Yep, it's coming out quite not easy, I mean. So yes, it was plugged in. This front plate, the plasticky one, I'm not a fan of. If they would have been made of metal, these little things, a bit better. But anyway, still doing the job. Just doesn't feel that nice when you press the hard drive in there. You are kind of not sure, is it in, is it not in? It's, yeah, better press in the middle where it has contact with the hard drive than pressing on the edge. Close this thing up and rotate right to my computer and power the unit on and hope for the best. Actually, also plug the unit in and then power it on. Where is it? I think that was the proper procedure. I hit the hard drive spinning. making all the right noises, but and they appeared, and they are BitLocker protected, both of them. So let me unlock them and see if everything works properly. Yeah, so I could unlock them exactly as I was hoping. Both of them appeared okay and working, so all that I can say is camera try to focus, and I will use them in here in the enclosure for a good while and then get back to you for the end of the video. Up until now everything seems perfectly fine. We will see when I try some video editing and stuff like that what happens. And yes, it's a full pass-through also for hard drive Sentinel, so it can see all the info from my drives. It can see the temperatures, which for the moment obviously I just powered them on, are really okay. And yeah, the overheating one, just a tiny bit, actually not overheating, the warm one, let's say like that, is one of the internal SSDs in the laptop. It's in a bit of a weird position, so that is why it's a bit hot. I will start to copy some data, play with them and see what we get in time. But up until now, again, all is good. Copying from one of the hard drives in the enclosure to the SSD in the laptop. Absolutely no issues whatsoever, as you can see, decent speeds. So basically I'm limited by the mechanical hard drive, not by anything else. That's good. Still copying. We still have about half an hour, maybe more in reality. Speed went down for a bit, now it's again high. I think it depends on where exactly on the hard drive the data is stored, on the faster edges or on the slower middle. Temperature still decent, 34 and 34. And I set it to low speed because it was making a bit too much noise to my liking, but still not overheating. But this thing is heating up a bit too much. It was here on the carpet, it was getting a bit hot. I've put it on the metal leg of my desk, and now honestly it's it's warm. I think 40-45 maximum degrees, but yeah, so put it on some metal. A dip in speed, again, I don't think it has anything to do with the enclosure, it's just the place where the data is on the hard drive. And temperature 37 and 37, which is quite decent compared to my SSDs, which got quite hot because I left the laptop on the carpet. So now I put something underneath so it can draw some fresh air. So don't put laptops on your carpet directly, they will overheat. Presumably that is why that was also overheating, because now it's even cooler than it was before. So this is drawing all the heat out of it. Yeah, everything absolutely fine. Set this in its final place and copying some data from it to the SSD. And as you can see here, really good speeds from the other drive. So this is about 2 months later. We've been using this unit all the time and it's working honestly perfectly. I don't let it power on even at night. For example, I shut it off when I shut off the laptop. Sometimes if I don't need to access anything from it, maybe one day I don't turn it on at all. So for me it's not working 24/7 because it doesn't make sense. I don't like to waste electricity on things running when they are not supposed to be running. But apart from that, when I turn it on, yeah, there's a big chance up until tonight, for example, when I turn off the laptop, this will remain on, and there is a chance that I access it once again later the day. So zero issues whatsoever. I don't know, I've seen some reviews that were not great, but from my experience with it, this thing is working absolutely perfectly. I don't see anything wrong, and I really like it. So easy to use, no problems. Yes, daughter keeps putting her fingers around here, so you see some marks even on this display in there, but do I care about that? Obviously no. So yeah, that's about it for this video. Thank you ineo for sending this unit. It's being put to good use and zero issues once again. Working exactly as it should and exactly as I expected to have it working. So, thank you for watching, and as always, see you in the next one. Bye.